Tiffany, and this is my channel, Foxy Sunrise. So today's pick a card reading. Oh yeah, happy Pisces full moon. Even if you're watching this and it's not the full moon, it'll still it's still a solid message. I can't wait to do this. So today's pick a card reading is about what are our generational or ancestral patterns. This topic kind of came up randomly. I was just daydreaming, I guess, and the idea came to mind, so can't wait to see how this one is going to turn out. So I have 4 groups today. Group 1 is Luna. Group 2, Soul. Group 3, Libra. And reverse. And group 4, Scorpio in reverse. Timestamps are going to be all down below, as well as my blog site, donation, and contact information. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Pick as many groups as you're drawn to. Watch the whole video even. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, guys, for more. So let's go ahead. You chose Luna, group 1. This is going to be about your generational ancestral patterns. So let's see. So the moon in astrology is normally about the emotions, the mother, and the subconscious mind. So this may be a pattern surrounding your emotional body and how you handle your emotions, and possibly any sensitivities. You may resonate with more of the feminine energy, or have an attraction to nurturing motherly types, or you may be a nurturing motherly type. This pattern may have been adopted as well from your mother, or due to a certain relationship with your mother, or the matriarchy or maternal aspect of your ancestry or generation. You may have inherited this from your mom's side, possibly. So we have luck and structure in reverse. The Lovers. Seven of Pentacles. And the Chariot. So I'm seeing a couple things here. Let me look at, I want to look at the moon cards as well. Patience, release. So I'm seeing Cancerian energy here, as well as Gemini energy here. So I'm seeing that you have inherited a harmonious intellectual energy from your mom's side. You may be very beautiful. Childlike. You may have had some... There's either a lack of structure currently, and you haven't had to really deal with many consequences for having a lack of structure, or there was a lack of structure in the home, possibly like a very Sorry guys, I'm just taking it in for a second. So I'm seeing a lack of structure within taking initiative and maybe relying on your beauty versus tending to your own garden, or relying on other relationships to be the structure for you. An impatience with the self and almost a domestication. I'm seeing the luck card here. The cat looks like it's in a house. It's not a wild cat. It's not a cat that had to learn street smarts and learn its environment and be adaptable to its environment. It's a cat that was given everything. It's a cat that has always been taken care of and given that external structure, but there may be like a lack of internal structure, which can cause an impatience. And maybe I'm seeing this visual, maybe your parents were very impatient with you, or almost like you never received I guess the feedback or the attention that you desired. This looks like a deserted land, like you played by yourself a lot of the time and you were in your own imaginary world. But I'm seeing that there is a lot of love, a lot of nurturing, a lot of possibly idolization of the mother figure here, the maternal figure. And there wasn't a lot of, I'm just seeing, either there wasn't a lot of money, a lot of emphasis on money, there wasn't a strong emphasis on kind of tending to your own garden and taking action towards your own fruits versus relying on the fruits of others to give you that structure. I'm also seeing a lack of commitment in this structure in reverse, and devotion in reverse with Krishna. It says, trust your spiritual guidance. Your commitment has been recognized. You are loved unconditionally. Interesting. Huh. Interesting. So for some of you, it could be because of this lack of structure and patience with the self, and sometimes possibly neglecting this self-care, this cultivation of your inner abundance, there's a lack of devotion, and this could be true as far as a devotion to this Lunar card could also be a devotion to mothering the self, to mothering your own self, and really finding a union, an inner parental union of the self, and redevoting yourself, releasing whatever has happened with your mother and with this feminine figure or lack thereof. There may have been an inconsistency in the feminine figure, but she could have been at work all the time, like a go-getter type, someone who was always on the go, or always, like, maybe she worked a lot, but you still had like an idolization of her. It wasn't like you resented her, but there was just a lack of foundation that you were left with early on. So there's something, I know this was vague, but there's something that needs to be released concerning the feminine, or your mother, or the feminine side of you. In giving yourself that nurturing, you are loved unconditionally. Your commitment has been recognized. So your mom could have been in and out, and it seemed like you didn't have that nurturing, consistent nurturing figure around. Your mother could have been also more masculine. She could have been tougher. She could have been maybe a little bit colder. This inner infrastructure also could be you being hard on yourself. You being hard on yourself, and even a little bit isolated. Okay. Yeah, you are loved unconditionally. So there's a softness, either a lack thereof in the past, or a lack thereof now, and that could be because it relates to a certain coldness or lack of a mother figure as it relates to some kind of generational pattern. Let me read Gilded Regret. Gilded Regret, number 5. So I'm going to go ahead and read that. I feel like living in the past. Please give me 5 more minutes to linger. Memories are like floating underwater, safe, warm, and murky. Yet they held the scent of death. Wow. Wow. There may be hanging on to the childhood and to not wanting to grow up, in a sense, and take charge of one's life. Gemini can be non-committal at times due to just spreading itself thin and not sticking to a plan to ground its ideas and itself. So your mom could have also lived in sort of this looks like a dream world to me, like living in the mind versus, you know, having a physical material to really ground. Or she could have just been restless and always kind of on the go and moving, hustling. The cage of our memories is the most gilded, lingering to the past, savoring crumbs and flashes, hints and ifs. But is our sword, however is our shield. We follow the river against the currents to a sea of maybes. We cannot say life is here now. We just say life was here. So that even when the future builds day by day, we still look backwards to memories and possibilities, options we missed, things we lost, changes we fled. It is like staying in the twilight of conscience, in the blessed state of those 5 minutes between the time the alarm rings and when you actually have to wake up. Like little kids, between the time mom calls and the time we need to wake up and run. But those 5 minutes are taking up too much time. They are the drain of our energies or our opportunities of our future. The ifs are now gone. Whatever has been has already, isn't it? Interesting. Interesting. So there may be some stagnancy. You may be a Gemini moon, I'm just getting that, or you may have an Aries moon where you intellectualize your emotions, and so you're not allowing yourself to really feel. With this release card in the upright position, really express and feel those emotions, so that you can really release them. And feeling impatient with yourself almost because you haven't really gotten over like whatever has happened, and there may be a lack of structure because you've been hanging on to this for so long. But you're almost, this shows me a little bit of resentment or a little bit of hanging on, latching on, being in an illusion, not seeing the regret that you may feel, or not seeing the time that has passed as you've been in this memory, whatever it is. This is interesting. Okay, this went on a little bit longer than expected, group one, but let me know what comes up for you. Definitely take this one lightly. I don't know how the other messages are going to come out, but they seem a little harder to reach. But whatever comes up when you're thinking about any of this, definitely consider it with a grain of salt. But let me know what stuck out for you. Leave some comments regardless. I love the feedback, and I'm going to go ahead and move on to number 2. Group 2. If you chose Soul, this is your reading. So this pattern or trait may have come from your father's side. You may identify more with masculine energy. You may be a Leo as well. Very extroverted, funny, loud, boisterous. Okay. So definitely psychic ability. It's a beautiful balance though of the masculine and feminine here. Very fluid energy, but I'm seeing this as like a fear of taking the leadership role, not realizing that you are a leader and that you are radiant, and also this anxiety is coming from not trusting yourself. We have the Hierophant in reverse, which is a spiritual leader, a teacher, can be orthodox, but with this in reverse, it could be that you are a sort of unusual type of influencer or inspirational person, but I'm also seeing this as a resistance here because you're getting you're connected, you're tapped in. There may be a lack of spiritual structure here with the Hierophant in reverse, so you're not exactly practicing anything to hone in on these gifts, to hone in on, I said pattern earlier, but this is more of like traits to me, I'm noticing. Inherited patterns or traits, but anyways, this anxiety is coming from not following this call, and you may have been getting pings. I mean, this is like one of the most psychic cards, and it's a major arcana card, so you have, it's in your blood, magic, spirituality, religion, if that's what you identify with more, whatever it is, it's like this inner knowing that is inherited from your father's side, or the more masculine side, of your family. Your dad may be a Leo, and you could have also inherited this maybe anxious, overthinking, insomnia from that side of the family, if that resonates. But it's almost like I'm getting like this intuition, this gift is like haunting you now. It's like it's starting to manifest physically that you're ignoring yourself. And if you don't really identify with the word psychic or anything, imagine this is your conscience, your internal knowing. The High Priestess is sort of the darkness, where creativity, where babies are formed, where ideas are formed, where we dream, unless you're nocturnal. Very, very intellectual, very sensitive, very, very sensitive. Wow. Magic and banish. Okay, so you definitely need to be protecting yourself a whole lot more. Some of these swords, so I see with banish, some of these swords may not even be your swords, so you may be a little bit cluttered. Swords are ideas, thoughts. So I'm seeing this as using your magic, using your interest in being a minister, a writer, someone who can channel God, can channel the high power through prayer or whatever other means to really clear this junk. These swords could be limiting beliefs that you inherited. They could be things that your father said to you. They could be things that the person that you really looked up to, the person that was like a figure in your life, or even just when it comes to taking action and believing in yourself, your father or your parental figure may not have done that for you, and there may be a pattern of that, of a lack of. So the mother, I feel like, nurtures our emotions, and the father nurtures our ego. So there could be an anxiety, this thing that keeps you up at night. Now it's 9, so it's towards the end of this, and with it being upright, it's realized, it's recognized. Sometimes that's all it takes, is the acknowledgement that, okay, some of the stuff in my head may be coming from, you know, a different source, and this is a call that you're ignoring. And if you already had the tools right now to cleanse all this, to really ground yourself, so that you can be creative. Like, look at the colors here. You can be a creative person. You may make jewelry with crystals. You may be into energy healing. I mean, magic is all around us. It doesn't have to be the unbelievable, unfathomable stuff that makes us skeptical. It could just be your gift, whatever it is. But really letting go of some of these thoughts, identifying these swords, if that's what helps you, writing things down instead of keeping it in the mind, and really using the tools that you have, your intuition, going into meditation, going into not a trance-like state, but a state where you are less manic and anxious. Let's see. Abundance. So this is blocking your abundance, which is available to you. You are an abundant being. Sometimes I see reversal as like being blinded to it, not wanting to see it, being in denial of it, not seeing the grateful things around you, because in the gifts, you have generational abundance. Your gifts, your talents, your traits, which I feel you have so much to discover of it. There's still so much to see. If you've been blocking off being able to see what you're grateful for because of all of this, then there's a lot that hasn't been explored, that hasn't been acknowledged or witnessed, that you still have to see when you allow yourself to teach others. Because you're very intellectual, you have a lot of knowledge, you have a personality. This is part of you. You have a very strong, vibrant personality, someone who is attractive. And I mean, I'm outside right now. It'll be noon soon, and the sun illuminates everything. You have the ability to really illuminate these things for other people. Banish them. Like, your words are magic, your writing is magic. There's something about you. It's multi-layered too, like these rocks. There's like a pile of rocks, and this is just one section of that area of rocks. There could be so much more. I mean, look at that. Think about if you've ever seen a Harry Potter movie, I can't remember which one it is, but this reminds me of like the tents in Harry Potter. It's not the Goblet of Fire, but Harry goes to this camping site with Ron, and there's these tents everywhere, and they look very small, like regular, like 2 to 4 person tent. When you go inside, it's like a 1,200 square foot house. It's so cool. So that's what I see with these traits, these gifts, these patterns, if you will. And I guess patterns could be traits that have been passed down, that are known to be in your bloodline, in your family, and magic is one of them. Being sensitive and intuitive is one of them. And really owning your leadership and seeing that by being the leader, by sharing your wisdom and knowledge that you've learned, you will gain abundance from that. Radha, soul flame, in reverse. Rediscover a lost part of yourself. Experience relationship, harmony, and healing. That is beautiful. It's in reverse. So refusing to see. I feel that this reading will help you really awaken to it. If it resonates with you, it will. If it doesn't, that's unfortunate. But allowing yourself, even if it doesn't resonate, to see the amazingness that you are, and understanding, like, soul flame. Twin flame is vernacular that a lot of people are using. It sounds very beautiful, having a one person on this entire planet that really is a part of you, who you are, and that will awaken your gifts, and that your gifts will kind of make this sort of beautiful, harmonious vortex and combine and change the world. Like, that sounds amazing. But first, one thing that I resonate with any of the information about that is, and with, screw twin flame. Anytime you want to find an authentic partner, a friend, we can't pick our family, but a friend or a romantic interest, those take time. And when we really know who we are and we don't block it off, we're not afraid of it, when we really understand the depth of who we are and we discover this lost part of ourselves, this magic, and really falling in love with what God gave us, the gifts that God gave us. I like to use the word God, whatever you resonate with. Some people say universe, but seeing the abundance that you are, really, gratitude is a big deal. Some mirror work, I'm really working on that right now, but really looking at yourself in the mirror. I didn't realize how much I avoid the mirror until I started doing mirror work, but really seeing yourself for who you are, not in a vain way, but in a self-accepting way. I accept that this is what I like. I accept that this is what I'm drawn to, and I also accept that my intentions are good when I go towards those things, even though other people may not understand. And because that will happen, whether it's our family or our fans, haters, whatever you want to say. Not taking those things personally and stepping into your power, really aligning with who you are, and finding out what that is, and not being afraid to express that, because it's going to be different from anyone else on that earth. Anyone else on this earth, it will be different. There will be no one like you, and that's scary, to be different from everyone else. But guess what? Everyone is different from everyone else. We cannot all be the same. We can't. We have, similar interests sometimes, and there may be somebody on this earth that is your soul flame, and you may be on this soul flame journey with someone. I'm not really into the love readings, but check those out and figure that out. That may resonate with you. You may not have ever heard of anything like that, but trying to wrap this up here so my camera doesn't die. But anyways, really finding out who you are, what you like, what you don't like, what you're good at, and that may be a lifetime journey. And if you keep finding more and more things that you're good at, like, that's, what is there to lose? Figuring out who you are and being your own soul flame. Being your own soul flame. Starting with you and your connection, your spiritual connection. Because a relationship with self is spiritual. In my opinion, of course. Oh wow, I've actually never seen this card before. Perchance to dream, 28, which is a number 10. I feel that is a culmination of a cycle. You may be ending this cycle with this reading, or on your own journey. You're in the process of ending this cycle. It is a full moon in Pisces. Pisces can relate to past lives, and really the other side. It's a very elusive house, hard to pin down, but right now you may be releasing this cycle. I'm gonna read the card since I've never seen it before. That is so cool. Moon phase new. If I sleep long enough, when I wake up the pain will have been gone. To die, to sleep, perchance to dream, or it's the time to surrender, to drown, to dive in, head first in the cozy, all-enveloping darkness of the blanket. It is a moment of weakness, a desire to close your eyes and surrender, just for a moment, 1 second, 1 minute. Not like a hero fighting the world, but like a kid just welcoming the darkness outside within fully. How long will that moment last? A minute? We can say just a minute, but it's not true. Disappearing is but an instant, just a time to take a breath twice, and yet it can take ages. Ages we will regret, ages we will have lost, like stolen by our own surrendering. Okay. You want something. There's something that you want, and something is holding you back from that, and it doesn't have to. So really coming out of those covers and doing something today that you want to do, that sharing something of yourself. Are you a writer? Are you creative? I'm feeling this pile is very creative with the sun energy, very creative and expressive, expressing yourself for an hour a day or longer, whatever. Whatever. So I'm going to continue reading. Ages that we will have lost, like stolen by our own surrendering, and yet we close our eyes. We let one sense after the other slow down to nothing. Sight first, then hearing, and then smell. Last will be the touch, the comforting hand we all deserve, to hold us up when we have done enough and we just cannot but let go. That is, wow. I don't really use this deck very, very often, but what a beautiful deck it is. I'm seeing it as both allowing yourself to rest, because expressing your energy and not being fully charged, not charging yourself because you are an abundant being. Leos have a lot of energy, consistent energy, fixed energy. It's fixed, so it continues going. It's steady. Being the sun, I mean, we're only human. We are not the actual sun. But being that radiant, it takes a lot of recharging. You can't have an empty tank. You can't not see what you have to offer and still think that you can shine your light. You can't do that. And if you don't believe, if all of your energy, all of your light is going into these thoughts, these doubts, these worries, these fears, you of course you're gonna want to drown in your sorrows. You're gonna want to be under the covers. You're gonna feel like you aren't using your energy to its full potential. So dream and act on those dreams. Soul, the sun, is fire energy, taking action on those dreams. And Leo, no offense if you're a Leo, but I know a couple Leos and they're not the cleanest people. And I say that to say, and it's associated with childlike energy, with being passionate. I say that to say, being creative isn't going to be perfect. It isn't going to be this like neat little. It's not going to be neat. It's not going to be pretty. It might be ugly sometimes, but people want to witness. People want to witness something, whether it's ugly, whether it's beautiful. It doesn't matter. And you have something marvelous to share. And it is not ugly. It is not ugly. Ugly shouldn't even be a word. It sucks that it is, and it's a way to describe something, but you can't be hard on yourself through this process of self-discovery, of understanding your soul, of understanding your light, your ego, because the sun is the ego, it's the center of the universe. Understanding who you actually are. What is that? Illuminated. When you're not hiding in the darkness under your covers, who are you really when you're at your best? Okay. Fall in love with yourself. You are a leader, you are a teacher, you are intuitive. you have a compass that will guide you where you need to go. So group 2, that is your reading. Let me know what you think. Comment down below, like, share, subscribe for much more, because there will be much more. And yeah, please let me know what you think. I'm gonna move on to group number 3. What's up, group 3? So, if you chose Libra in reverse, these are your generational patterns and traits. Judgment in upright. Page of Swords. Wow, it's interesting that we have Libra in reverse and the Judgment card upright. So I'm seeing a good representation of air energy. Libra is a masculine sign. All air signs are. However, they depict a female here. Libra is ruled by Venus. And Venus is all about harmony. So we're looking at someone with fresh ideas. Someone who has maybe really quick downloads, and I would also say someone who has an idea of what they feel is right and wrong, because Libra's all about fairness, and sometimes fairness can be objective or objective, and that everybody has their own mind. It's easy for people to agree on some things, but this Libra in reverse could be either a harsh judgment of sorts, and there's this calling that's happening. And so sometimes Libra can also be a little bit codependent, and air can also be a little bit mentally manipulative and persuasive. This card speaks of lying, deception, finesse is a word that comes to my mind. Libra, the energy of Libra says beautiful things, but the actions may not always match. It could be based off of appearances. So the Libra in reverse could be someone who cares about what everybody else thinks and keeping up with appearances. And so this could have been a pattern in the family, something that started at a young age with this Page of Swords here. And let me see. Survival and dream. Wow. This really does look like someone who's running off without really thinking clearly, because they're in a survival mentality, and then also juggling. Wow, it's like there's this balance of practicality and your ideas and your dreams, your thoughts, the things that you want to do. This could also be manipulating the situation to be able to survive socially, because Libra is a sign that deals with, or all air signs really deal with the interaction of people and relationships. And so again, with Libra wanting to save face in order for the environment to be harmonious, and this is this may sound like negatives, but it's a positive too. When positively directed Libra energy or this Libra energy. You don't have to be a Libra, but having this ability to really balance your environment and also bring balance to any social situation, making people feel comfortable, making people feel relaxed. You're probably the type of person who you are fair, but with all of this air energy, you have a very open mind and the ability to really understand other people and listen to them, even if you don't always agree. Still this cooperative ability, this ability to be at peace and bring peace to your environment. But it's like this, I'm seeing the survival with the Seven of Swords is like a lack mentality, leaving with your ideas, but there's something vindictive about this. But it's I say lack because of survival. It's like this idea that you have to again, save face. This guy almost looks like he is almost trying to show off to his friends, like, oh, I'm really cool, I can do these things, I can carry these dangerous weapons while I'm not looking. But that's this is like societal survival, like the fear of being judged and also worrying about the self versus the others so strongly. Triumph of lies, self-love, wow. And we have a number 6 here, which is a number associated with Aphrodite and beauty and Venus. And so really accepting who you are, because this could also depict a person who is very accepting of others, but you don't show that same acceptance and love and attention that you could either seem to get externally or that you give to others. Oops. Lady Nada, heart awakening in reverse. Awaken to acceptance and divine love. Give and receive balance. This is crazy. We have a balance represented here, balance represented in Libra. Now, this is where it can get superficial. Libra can seem balanced on the surface, but be a hot mess on the inside because she's not really doing the things that she likes. She's just doing what she thinks other people would like her to do, because she doesn't want to step on anyone's toes or do anything other than make people feel comfortable. She's always worried about other people. I hate to say she, but he or she is always worried about other people. Also get like this idea of like idolization versus like reality and how you feel about reality. So maybe living in your head as well. Libra can, when I think of the scales, I think of like a comparison factor, like weighing one with the other. So sometimes need to compare oneself to another to see how the odds stack up, to see how if one is better than the other. But I see a lot of ideas here. It's like not being expressed, and you could be walking away with your ideas versus sort of being blocked by the what ifs and the what ifs. Triumph of Lies. We're gonna read that. If something hurts me, I can change myself so it can stop. So when I read just that one sentence, it makes me think of like self-deprecating thoughts and ideas, and I'm sure we've all been here. I know I relate. Like, if something is wrong, you think that changing yourself will be the issue. I mean, would be the solution to the problem. If something hurts me, I can change myself. It sounds like self-blame. Not all that glitters is gold. Emptiness is felt when there's nothing under the dress. So this just makes me think of, again, Venus, how Venus can say something looks good on the surface. Keeping like societal appearances, caring about what other people think. You may have had a parent or parental figure or some kind of authority figure, even just going through school and other places where you're harshly judged for a person's opinion of what is being a bad kid and what's being a good kid. And so I went on a tangent there, but I guess desiring more than just keeping up with appearances and looking good to other people, because you know, it feels like a lot of times there's so many people watching. Your parents, people in your family, teachers, coaches, siblings that look up to you, all kinds of people. Sometimes it feels like there's this pressure to not piss anyone off because it seems easier, but what's really loving is allowing yourself to kind of see what you want as an individual, and it might be different from what you've been agreeing to. The Triumph of Lies is about appearance, and appearance is always so important in the world. Day by day, it seems more important. Can that be a lie too? So this makes me think of, I used to work at a country club, and it makes me think of sort of the pressures that rich kids have with their rich families. That's a weird perspective, but if your dad was a rich lawyer and you want to be a musician, you know, they have TV show plots and movie plots about these types of things, but you know, it can be scary from any perspective, from friends who you used to hang out with for one reason and now your interests have changed and you're doing your own thing, but it could be isolating. Because self-love is a practice, an everyday practice of really getting to know yourself and what you need, and that takes time. You're taking care of another human and making sure that its needs are met mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, if called towards that realm. But it's so important. This pile, all the piles are so relatable, but yeah, this one's really deep. We seek to be what the world outside desires, and not necessarily society at large. Our family or partners or friends place judgments on what we should be. In the dress we choose, we carve a mask of expectations, behaviors, values to live by. It offers stability to ourselves and to our easy to make it offers stability to ourselves and to our relations, as being honest and true to ourselves can be too tiring. Unfortunately, the relationship with our mask is not as straightforward as it feels. Inside the mask, envy grows, vanity takes root, lack of self-confidence becomes a habit. It gnaws at us and hurts us from the inside. Feels like it is ourselves, but it's not really authentic. It's just a lie we have made habit to believe in. Wow, so this could also be like, again, that sort of idolization of wherever you are in life. And this isn't necessarily a bad thing. I think having a mind like this, you can see the positive in anything. But this could also be like giving someone too many chances, giving them the benefit of the doubt, making excuses for them without actually like trusting your gut and seeing their actions versus their words. So that was a long one. Group 3, that was your message for your generational patterns and traits. Let me know down below what you think of this subject. If anything stood out to you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see y'all next time. Okay. It is so hot out here, guys. Last but not least, Scorpio in reverse. This just makes me think of like envy, sibling rivalry, jealousy, Martian energy, so a battle, everything's a battle, manipulative, vindictive, defensive. Again, these are passed down traits, or even traits that may have been kind of bred through nature versus nurture interaction or scenarios. Could also be inherited traits as well. You may be a Scorpio. That'd be pretty cool. Depth and patience. Wow. This is such Martian energy. Being impatient and depth. So this almost seems like a denial of your scorpionic energy of being emotional, psychic, deep. And this is water. When we look at it, it's like a shore. Depth, water, like the ocean. Having a lot of emotions and needing patience as you kind of travel through these waters. And getting to know people can be like that as well with the Scorpio energy here. Six of Swords, the Moon, Two of Wands. right now you're in a transformative process of walking away from a place that you may have been for a while, and you're leaving for more harmonious waters. And this, you know, this may mean that you're not around as many people. Yeah, so this depth and patience in reverse with the pleasure in reverse, it makes me feel a resistance to opening up to this new transformative energy, and it's painful. It's not really sunny where this is. It seems somber, and yeah. Let's see. Wow, soul expansion. So Scorpio, you may be a person who's prone to very big changes all of a sudden. You may not be a Scorpio, you may be a Scorpio, you could be an Aries, you may not be an Aries, but there's this Plutonian Martian energy of perseverance and pushing through a painful time, and everything seems a little clouded and confusing with this moon card here, another water card, a lot of confusion, shadow work for sure, exploring parts of your mind, your memories, and opening up to it. But there's an inherited stubbornness, and I mean, it's just funny because it's like I'm seeing like a Scorpio or a person who is just hard to get through, very hard to get through. And there's a lot like it's just funny. There's a lot like hidden and unseen behind this mysterious person. We have an air of mystery, mystique, lots of like I'm feeling suppressed sexual energy. Okay, wow, with this pleasure in reverse and Scorpio in reverse, possibly hiding. I'm seeing like this black part of the card as like a wall almost to get through into this depth and to really get to this patience that Scorpio can have. Loyalty is associated with Scorpio, so you may have just undying loyalty to others, and you're taking your crap and you're leaving. You're like, you're in a transformative place right now, and very magical, mysterious, and psychic. Witchy energy I'm getting here, some inherited witchy energy, but also I'm seeing possibly some suppressed sexual energy as well. Scorpio is... I'm trying to think of a Scorpio. Leonardo DiCaprio is a Scorpio. I can't think of any any others, but just it would suck if you don't find him attractive. I think he's generally attractive. Maybe not now, but you know, maybe 5 years ago. I don't know really what he looks like now, but just there's something that kind of pulls you to him. And sometimes Scorpio energy can feel like a pot like boiling with the top with the lid on. You can't really see what's going on in the pot, but it's like steaming and piping hot and just about to explode and overflow. And this could be emotionally and, you know, extrovertedly expressed, but this could also just be like you have a lot of this creative energy, because sexual energy is also creative energy. but having this energy that's just kind of, it's like you've had to put a lid on it and not explore the things that you really desire. And with the soul expansion here, this is sort of, this is you right now, I'm seeing, and also here too. That's crazy. So just exploring the subconscious realm of your mind and understanding inwardly what these pleasures are, and I see it as it's like you're doing it in the privacy of your own space, and understanding what it is, being able to discover your own depth, and know that this depth, this wisdom, this powerful warrior is a part of who you are, and you're always going to be changing. And Scorpio, and I'd even say Aries, and just this group in general, regardless of the sign, you're always wanting to be better. And it's so easy for you to transform and cut things out, and it doesn't mean that you don't feel anything. Like, you're still like healing from all of that and uncovering more things, which is just transforming you at a pace that maybe most people couldn't really do. So it's really beautiful. And I think right now what's coming up is just a transformation in your sexual energy and your creative energy. It's really coming out. Surrounding yourself in beautiful things. Let's see. Really exploring and learning spiritually, and also mentally, moving away from ideas and taking the ones that you really think are of service to you, taking those ideas and thoughts about your sexuality, your sexual energy, whatever it is, and allowing it to be explored and discovered and really tapped into. There's a lot of butterfly imagery here. Just so much change, so much is changing. And of course, because it's a Scorpio pile, you may be into psychology and other pseudosciences, occult knowledge, investigating things, analyses, revenge. Another Scorpio theme. This is wild. Revenge in reverse. Let's go ahead and read that. Stage, anger. It is time to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing, end them. Wow. This is totally, this is like, this is either you're about to be, you're in the middle of shadow work, or this is being brought up to you, and wow. There is no white night, but there can be a black storm woven by fallen angels. This is really crazy. I've never seen this card before. I don't really use this deck very often. But this is like this warrior inside about to really slay these inner demons, these dragons. And you're always doing this. And this is just a part of who you are. And you may have family members around you who may be Scorpio mother, a mother who is fierce, who is maybe intense with her love, maybe even a little smothering sometimes, but loyal. You can count on her. She's a warrior. She's done things that, an Aries or Scorpio, Martian, fiery, compassionate parental figure of an influence that has created this beautiful concoction of a person. So you're not waiting for anyone to save you. And with Scorpio being fixed, you may be a stubborn person. And because of this warrior strength energy, this fixed water, it's ice. It's hard to break. It's cold. Sometimes you can get like frostbite from ice, from snow, and it can be, the ice is very set in its way unless it allows itself to be warm and kind of melt. And so all of these transformations that happen, this inner work, is what allows you to sort of melt and allow other people to see the beautiful, deep soul that you are. This person kind of looks like a Woodstocky, so you may really resonate with that style. Let's see. What if there was a place where there's no more time for words, no more sense to bargain or negotiate, no more survival instinct to accept fear or ponder consequences? It's a place we can reach at the limit of our abuse, with the last spark of our dignity surging up as a powerful black flame. We cry, we hurt, and we strike to destroy. You're going through something really intense, like deep work. Like it's really deep work, and it could involve some kind of abuse that has blocked you from your beauty, from diving deep into yourself, and it may have trapped you, and you're ready to leave and understand something new and discover something new, and you're exploring this realm that's kind of dark, and I mean, it's illuminating in its own way, but it's elusive. You're really getting to know who you are as a soul, and this is a part of your healing. Yeah, there could have been some kind of conditioning or influence that has caused you to not really see your beauty, to be vindictive and maybe blocked off and untrusting. But this really does seem like a revenge on your own inner demons that are coming up. And we destroy not for ourselves because we are gone. We destroy for the fairness of the world. We destroy because if there is no sweet justice, there can at least be cruel revenge. We destroy for those who came earlier. Wow. Generational traits. So this could be some kind of karmic stuff if you believe in that, and multiple lives. And even karma in the sense of a mindset, like you're ready to strike back. There is no going back, because coming back from that requires much more than force. We destroy, and as we destroy, we forsake ourselves. In a way, when I hear that we forsake ourselves, there's a dying process that happens during a transformation. You're forsaking who you thought you were, who you have been pretending to be, really pushing down your identity. And there's so much to someone's identity that can be uncovered. It's really, people are really fascinating. But wow, yeah, your energy's pretty intense. It is, it's crazy. Yeah, really taking back your power here. Taking back your power. Your mind, your body, taking it all back. Soul expansion. Wow. Yeah, I'm seeing just the ability to really understand yourself, and also to an extent other people, especially with the psychic energy. This natural connection to the other world. Wow. Discovering the beauty of that sensitive side. The beauty of that side of yourself that you hide, so that you just hide. And allowing yourself to relax and you know, release that sexual energy. If you're like, Scorpio is magnetic. I totally relate to all the groups, but just as a woman especially, and if men are watching, I'm sure this happens to men too, you know? Just oozing a sexual energy and people not knowing what to do about it, being magnetic, someone that people are drawn and pulled to, especially if you're introverted and that happens and you don't really understand it, and you know, you're taking good care of yourself and you're putting more into your appearance and your health and just different things like that you know have been coming up for people and myself in quarantine, and people being almost addicted to you. And fearing that power, that can happen a lot of the times. Fearing the power of who you are and how radiant you are, and not knowing what to do with it, but really allowing it to be seen a little bit at a time as you're comfortable, because this is magical and kind of hard to explain, honestly, but still magical nonetheless. So group 4, that is your reading. Comment down below, let me know what you think of this topic, or just in general, talk to me. I've had a great time today, and I hope that you've had a great time as well. So come back and see me, like, share, subscribe if you're moved, and I will see y'all next time.